I overheard my husband's phone call while pretending to nap and discovered he'd been planning my accident for months. It started as one of those lazy Sunday afternoons where the autumn light filtered through our living room windows, casting everything in golden hues that should have felt peaceful. Wayne thought I was asleep on the couch, curled under my grandmother's hand-stitched quilt, the one with tiny purple flowers that she'd worked on during her final months in the nursing home. I'd been fighting a splitting migraine since dawn, the kind that made my vision blur and my stomach churn, accompanied by that familiar nausea that always came with my worst headaches. When Wayne suggested I rest while he handled some business calls, I gratefully closed my eyes and let the pain medication pull me toward sleep, or so he thought. I was floating in that strange half-awake state, somewhere between consciousness and dreams, when his voice drifted from the kitchen, low and careful. At first, it sounded like any other work conversation. Wayne owned Hawthorne Construction, a small company that specialized in residential renovations, always dealing with subcontractors, permits, and building inspections. His voice carried that familiar professional tone I'd heard thousands of times over our 22 years of marriage, the same tone he used when discussing foundation problems or roof repairs with clients. But something felt different. Something in the way he kept his voice deliberately quiet, almost whispering, made my body tense beneath the quilt. The brake lines are the cleanest option, he was saying, his words measured and deliberate. Make it look like natural wear and tear. Nothing suspicious that would trigger an investigation. My blood turned to ice water in my veins. Every muscle in my body screamed to sit up, to demand answers, to confront him right then and there. Instead, I forced my breathing to remain deep and steady, fighting every survival instinct that told me to run as far and as fast as I could. She takes that mountain road to her sister's house every Wednesday morning, Wayne continued, his voice so calm and matter-of-fact it made my skin crawl. Same time, same route. Been doing it religiously for 3 years now, ever since her mother passed away. Never deviates from the schedule. Never takes alternate routes. I wanted to vomit. That winding mountain road to visit my sister Vera. Highway 47 with its hairpin turns and steep drop-offs into the valley below. The route I'd driven every single Wednesday since Mom's funeral, because Vera and I had promised each other over Mom's casket that we'd never let grief pull us apart the way it had destroyed our cousins' relationships after their parents died. I'd always been extra careful on that road, knowing how dangerous it could be in bad weather, how many accidents had happened on those curves over the years. The insurance policy pays double for accidental death, Wayne's voice continued, and I could hear him moving around the kitchen, probably pacing between the island and the sink the way he always did when he was working through complex problems. $200,000 versus the standard life insurance, which only covers natural causes and has that 2-year suicide clause we'd have to wait out. My hands started trembling uncontrollably beneath the quilt. $200,000. That's what my life was worth to him. 22 years of marriage, of shared dreams and struggles and intimate moments, reduced to a dollar amount on an insurance policy. Tomorrow's Tuesday, he said, and I could hear the satisfaction creeping into his voice like poison. I'll handle it Tuesday night when she's at her book club meeting. She never gets home before 10:30 on Tuesdays. Gives me plenty of time to work. Wednesday morning, problem solved. Clean, simple, untraceable. The words hit me like physical blows, each one landing in my chest and stealing my breath. My heart hammered so violently against my ribs, I was certain he'd hear it from the kitchen. This wasn't some desperate spur-of-the-moment decision born from financial pressure or temporary insanity. This was calculated, planned, methodical. He'd been studying my routine, timing my habits, analyzing my schedule, preparing to murder me with the same careful attention to detail he used for construction projects. What about afterward? I heard him ask, and realized someone else was on the line. I mean, how long before someone finds her? My stomach lurched. He was discussing the discovery of my body like it was a logistical problem to solve. The road curves around Miller's Bend about 2 miles